Okay, here are some tips for assignment 4. The first one that I'm going to show you is Crankshaft, and that starts on page 230. It's one of the more complicated parts. This is what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, so I'm going to follow exactly what's going on in the book. We're going to go back here. First, this is going to be a revolve. Okay. I recommend doing this on the front plane. This is going to be your sketch on the front plane. And this is just really simple. The way that this is set up, you have to read the drawing. Like so. Here is your axis for revolution when you do your revolve. That is your axis. It's going to spin 360 degrees. Then you're going to add a plane at this location at 2.2. That's going to give you where you're going to put a groove shown here. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it. I did an offset, 2 different lines. Remember, you can select this edge and use convert entities, and then do your offset off of that. And then you would do your cut extrude at a certain distance to create that groove. And I believe we have another groove. Same thing, you have to create a plane at that point, and then you're going to use the same process there. Okay, next I am going to add this plane where this lobe is going to be right here. And here's the sketch on that. Once again, you will have to look at your drawings. I'm using part of a circle here and then kind of slicing out 15 degrees of that. And that's going to be, you're going to have a center line, the construction line that's coming up through here. There's the top of your circle that's going to be trimmed. And that's a simple extrusion. And then you're going to do half of this, or I'm sorry, yeah, you're going to do some mirroring here in a minute. So you've got this little piece here. That's an extrude right off of this face. And then you've got half of this little shaft that runs through here. And then I do the chamfer here down at the bottom. We will discuss chamfers, but this looks like this. It's 0.2 at 65 degrees. Make sure that it is flipped in the correct location or direction. It shouldn't look like this. It should look long like this. Make sure you do that, right? And then I'm going to do a mirror here, and I'm going to mirror this piece, and this piece. Remember, you're going to have to keep those separate. Do not merge those. Okay, then you've got that part. And then what I do for this to get rid of that part here in the middle is I just, on the front plane, I just go and I do a box, just a rectangle that goes all the way to the edges here. And very, very important tip on this, I'm not cutting through these pieces. What I'm doing here is I'm telling it to do through all, but don't cut these pieces. And what I would do is normally we have all bodies right here, but you want to do selected bodies, and then you would select just the shaft. Remember that you cannot have these combined. These have to be separate in order to do that. Then you can combine all of these into one. You remember how to do that. You have all your solid bodies here, and then you would select all of those, right click and go to combine. That's what I did here. Then I've got a fillet here and there. You're gonna have to look at the drawing for that. You've got a cut extrude here. That's just this shape on this plane going that far. And then you have a fillet on this edge right here. So you would select this edge to do your fillet. And then you've got a chamfer on this edge. And then you've got a few more fillets, just little tiny ones. You've got that one there, that edge there, that edge, and this edge right here. Make sure you apply the correct material. And that is it for the crankshaft. To learn more about our program, check us out at fvcc.edu, and for more tips and tricks, subscribe to this channel.